Does Google really know everything about you? No, of course, they don't. But why am I talking about the thing? So everybody, of course, knows that all the big companies are collecting data, but sometimes it's good to be reminded on this topic because it can still be a lot of data. And yeah, there's every now and then there's something like that in the news, especially when there are data breaches. Apart from that, you tend to forget a little bit about that such big companies are collecting data. I'm not actually warning you, I just wanted to remind you what they are collecting and what companies can do with that. And this is why my whole thing started. It started actually with the Google Fit, or can't remember how it's called, iFit, something like that. The fitness application from Google. Yeah, it's called Fit. And usually when I was going for a walk or bike ride or something like that, I was always opening the app, like the thing what you see here. Open the app and click on the plus icon, and then you start. Here you can see that the plus, and then you see add or track workout. Yeah, I think track workout, and then you start, and you choose what activity you want Google to track, and then you start, and Google will track how far, how fast you run, your heart rate, if you have a sensor in your watch, and so on and so on. I did this always on my watch and on my cell phone when I was when I had only the cell phone. But usually I have my Android Wear 2.0 watch, and it was doing this thing really good. But last time I totally forgot about that. I mean, it was basically yesterday in the evening. I forgot to start this activity tracking the Google Fit. And because I wanted to track my weight on the scale I was using, the scale is connected to an app on my phone, and that is syncing my data to the Fit. And so I didn't want to invoke the scale app. I wanted to see if it's transmitted to the Fit application. And so I went here and was checking. I just opened the Fit app and realized something. Okay, what's that? Yesterday evening bike ride. That's the bike ride from yesterday, and I didn't start the app. I mean, I just took my phone into a bag. I had my watch, and I took my bike, and we went to the beach and came back, and this is it. Now it's here without doing anything, and it's absolutely precise. I mean, they didn't leave out 2 yards or something like that when I checked the map. I mean, it's really very accurate. It's really amazing and somehow a little bit scary. I then went to Google page and try to find some description about that, how it works. Here there's some support page from Google where you can see how it works, how you have to start and stop, or automatic tracking, the automatic tracking activity. And then I was Googling on that, and I realized that this has been introduced, I think, already in 2016, about 3 years ago. Means if you have activated this thing, you have to activate that in the menu. If you don't activate that, I mean, you can deactivate everything. You can deactivate the automatic tracking and everything. Then they shouldn't collect your data. But if you have activated everything, the tracking and the heart rate and everything in the Fit and in the maps, then probably in the last 3 years, almost everything has been tracked, what you have been doing and thinking, and no, of course not thinking, but at least what you have been doing the whole time. I mean, I'm really not saying it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. I just want to be aware what is being collected. I mean, when you go to the maps and you go to your timeline, then you will see how your life looks on Google Maps. If you don't select any date, you will see all the sites you have been visiting. You can choose a year, and then only the thing from this year will be marked on the map. This is really interesting. I mean, this can be really useful if you forgot where you have been. I mean, here there's these points are from our road trip from 2016, obviously, and when I click on one of these things, then I can see where I have been. Holiday Inn Express in Burlington. Yeah, okay. That's really interesting without making any notes, writing anything down. I mean, let's imagine you are talking with your family about the road trip you have been doing, and you're discussing, yeah, where have you been? Yeah, I think we have been there. Then somebody else says, oh no, I think we have been there. Okay, if you go to Google Maps, there is absolutely no doubt you will you will instantly be able to see where you have been and when you have been there. You can, I think, double click or something like that. It's easy to find out more details, and then you will really see at what time you arrived at the hotel, what time you left at the hotel. It's crazy. It's helpful, but it's somehow still scary. And yeah, so don't be surprised if you get personalized ads and coupons and whatever thing. Yeah, a lot of things you can get if you, or let's say you go somewhere and you you open your smartphone and go to any app or any website or whatsoever, and you in a sudden you can get specific ads for this location, and then maybe it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Maybe it's a 10% coupon for the restaurant where you have been arriving like a minute ago. Yeah, I mean, that can be good. It doesn't have to be bad. The bad thing is usually when the data is like misused or it has been leaked. Sometimes there are data breaches. Companies, like Home Depot or other companies, I don't know if it has been with Facebook, that some bad guys get access to the computers of these big companies, and they are able to steal all the money, and then they probably could see all these data and use it in their way. So they could blackmail you, or I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that, but it's always a risk. And lately I heard about the Facebook, the Alexa breach. That, I mean, usually these companies, they say your data is only kept anonymously and only the computer knows who you are and where you are and what you're doing. But sometimes it looks like, there is always an exception, like in an emergency case, always the employees have to have access to almost every data. I've been working for a large company, and there are always exceptions. So I mean, there's no data which nobody can access. There's always a way to access that. And with Facebook and the Alexa, just a couple of weeks ago, it was leaked that employees were listening to the microphone what people have been talking to Alexa, and not only to Alexa. I mean, the microphone is listening all the time. So yeah, you have to be really aware of that. There are positive things, there are benefits, but there are always risks and bad things. I mean, this thing is probably really accurate. How? I mean, yeah, when we go back to the Fit app, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's obvious that Google knows where I have been. I mean, it's a little bit scary that they know, yeah, so in detail where I have been. But actually, the most scary thing is they have been able to detect what I have been doing. Not only where I have been, but this is actually the most scary part. What I have been doing, that is evening bike ride. I mean, they were probably analyzing my speed, all the moves with my arms, the heart rate, and everything. I mean, I think they can automatically detect most of your activity. If you're in a gym, if you're skating, if you're biking, if you're rollerblading, if you whatever you do, they will find it out. And imagine a young man is wearing his watch on his right arm. I mean, like a couple of minutes later, he will get ads for a dating app, or I don't know. So I mean, yeah, crazy things. I mean, yeah, you have to be really careful about these things. And here, at least for Google, that's a really good thing, a really positive thing. I think. I mean, Google at least is very transparent, or they try to be really transparent and show you what they are collecting, and you can turn almost everything on and off, like web and app activity, location history, voice and audio, device information, YouTube search history, YouTube watch history, and so on and so on. And you can click on that and you can see. I mean, sometimes it's really helpful. I remember sometimes I have been on a web page and I couldn't remember what it was, and then yeah, you can go to this thing, or even apps which we have been using, and so on and so on, can be really helpful. But I mean, it's a good thing to have at least the possibility to turn off and turn on and see what they have been collecting. Yeah, another thing about the location history, of course, is always when Google knows where you are, then yeah, I mean, they can really put this in combination to your devices. I mean, of course, they only know because of your devices, but let's say you have your mobile phone or your watch, and you are at the location, and your computer logs in at a total different location, then Google knows that this is really suspicious. How can your computer log on, like say 1,000 miles from the location where your smartphone is? So then they are really careful, and probably they would block the access, and they will send you a notification, and you would have to click on a link in your email and confirm that it's you who wants to try to get access to this PC. So it can be really helpful. So yeah, anyway, I think 15 minutes is enough. I just wanted to remind you about this thing, what they know or what they could know, and you have to be really careful also with these speaker things which come out, Alexa and all the other things. Be a little bit careful what you do and what you have turned on here. So that's it for now. Yeah, I hope I was able to help you a little bit. If you have any questions or comments, any specific experience about these things, or any suggestions what you have about this topic. Would be really interesting if you could leave a comment so we can discuss about this thing. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.